For the people that made it out with the barbershop and Uncut, shout out to my barber over there at Uncut. My boy JoJo cut my hair. Shout out to my barber Avery Johnson over there, the owner. They've been cutting my hair for about 15 years. As long as I've been doing comedy, really, I better say longer than that, like 20 years. When I first started comedy. They all bought tickets too. They all got tickets, so thank y'all. Thank y'all. But we're gonna get down, man. My brother KG is here. You set up, you got everything going like you want.
Yep.
So, hey there, bro. I think you live. Is he hot? Is he hot?
Yeah,
you on.
Oh, okay.
Like, people see you right
How y'all doing? I'm here.
People are looking at you right now. So just so you know, that's my boy KG in the building with this big old bright smile. He's here. We're in the studio. Talk to me, bro. What you got coming up? Talk to me.
Oh, man, I was asleep. I was trying to get them last minute Z's in before you had text me. I woke up to about 6 texts, man. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
But I'm glad you made it.
Yeah,
I heard you just had a fire night in Fort Worth at the Hyenas. I heard you had a wonderful night.
I did.
I heard it was something like a standing ovation. Almost might have been. Can you elaborate how you been doing with that?
Oh yeah, we had 2 shows last night. I was the opener and the host for Mike Baldwin from out of Kansas City, Missouri. He's a really funny comedian. And we had an awesome time last night. We had a show on Friday as well at the Dallas location. It went well too. And then Thursday. So this whole week was kind of tiresome, but it was a great experience, and I loved every minute of it.
Okay, so how long you been in the comedy game now?
It's 7 years now. It's 7 years.
7. Ooh, time fly fast.
Right. 7 in a couple months, but I ain't counting that.
7 in a couple months, but you ain't counting that right now. Absolutely.
I'm just trying to continue to learn and grow in comedy because I'm still young in the game, and you know, Anastasia, my big sister, always put me on game. You know, it's nothing you can't learn when you're around Anastasia. That's the whole point of me wanting to be friends with her, because she got so much knowledge that she want to share, not only to me but to the whole world. So when you're around Anastasia, just soak up the sun. You know what I'm saying? Just soak up the sun and get all that knowledge in. And it's going to be beneficial in the end for you.
Oh, and this wasn't even about me. This interview is about you.
Right. I'm just, look, you had a potent factor in my progression, so I got to mention it and let it be known, because I don't want nobody to go unappreciate it in the journey of my career.
Well, I thank you. Look, bro, one of the things that I have loved about you when in your comedy career is that you've always allowed me to fuss at you.
Right.
And regardless of how you try to get out of it, at the end of it, you always come with yourself and you listen. Yeah. And one of the things about being a great comedian is that you have to be willing to give back to the people who look up to you and who are inspired by you. Mm-hmm. And so the information that I give so that if I pass away, that if something happens to me, and God forbid that you can continue on in a way, and you'll have enough seeds planted within you that you can flourish, and you won't have any excuses. You can't say that I didn't know that, you know, because you always talk to me about everything. Tell me about some challenges you had in the comedy game and being a young comedian just starting out these 7 years. What were some of the challenges you faced as a comedian?
Well, the most important challenge I would say is self-reflecting. Like self-reflecting on myself and understanding my own progression and knowing where I'm at in my point of career. Because there's a lot of comedians, they don't really know where they at, and they think they here but they not, or they think they at some place, but it's just you got to have that own self understanding of your own self and where you're going in your career, and you'll know your place, and then you'll be able to accept that information when people give it to you.
Okay, so it's really about like being humble and acknowledging your growth,
and knowing your spot.
Acknowledging your growth, but also acknowledging your faults and the things that can keep you from growing.
Because if you don't acknowledge that, because everybody has flaws. If you don't acknowledge your flaw and understand your flaw, you won't be able to understand somebody else's flaw when they're talking to you. So you got to understand your own flaws, and then you'll be able to understand yourself and then progress more smoothly in your comedy career. Another challenge I had was in these comedy clubs that they have a lot of management rotation. They in and out different management, and you can't really get a solid momentum going with the comedy clubs because they change in management. One management be at one club, and then the next year they'll be at another club. So you can't really get your feet wet with all the management changes in the comedy club. So that's another challenge. And now that I finally got into the comedy club as an opener, which some would say that I'm overdue and some would say I'm underdue, but I know my own position, so I'm just playing my role and being humble in that.
And what you have, just being grateful wherever you at. And that's a great thing, because I tell, we had to talk about this, that no position determines who you are. It's not the label that you wear, it's how you shine when you're in the position. And a lot of people get stuck in, I'm an opener, or I'm a feature, or I'm a headliner, or I'm, you know, the titles. They get stuck in the titles. I don't get stuck in titles because I've been in positions. I did a show with Spanky Hayes from Wild and Out Comedy Show. And they had me as the opener and Celebrity as the feature and Spanky Hayes as the headliner. And my little brother Celebrity was more upset than I was. He was like, no, like, do you understand? And he was like wanting to fuss with the promoter about, like, hey, like, do you know who my sister is? Like she's not the person who's supposed to open, like, or do you know what you're doing? And I even think it even affected my brother Celebrity because he was so not understanding like this person's thinking. He was, and it was so humbling that he thought of me in such a way that he was like, hey, like, you doing your own stuff wrong. And so to have someone to acknowledge that your strength that you see is strong as well is a big thing. And so that's why it doesn't matter what label you get, you play whatever position strong, because the thing I did was I went and I set that opening position on fire. And it was almost like it was a reverse show. You know, like headliner, feature, and then opener. It was like my little bro was the feature for me, and then the headline, the opener was the guy that was supposed to be the headliner. And I said that Spanky Hayes, I felt like that night. Y'all can tell him, but that's how I felt.
But you have such a loving and warm feeling. When I talk to you personally, I don't know about the other relationships you have, but when I personally talk to you, the love that you display with me, I have to continue and take that love and spread it to somebody too. It's like you give it to me and I give it to you because I want to be able to show where I got it from. Like Anastasia showed me how to show love, so I want to show people how to show love like that, you know. So that's what I try to do, like be able to like spread it. Even though Anastasia is giving it to me, I want to be able to spread it, and so they can know where I got it from. So when they're talking to me, I'm like, well, Anastasia told me this, some good advice, blah, 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 and I just pass on the information, you know, just keep the information wrong, because everybody, somebody's going to want to use it, and everybody's not going to want to use it, but the people that do want to use it, they'll accept that information, and they'll take it and be humble, and appreciate it. So, like, that's why I say you have been a big turning factor in my career, and you molded me, and you made me like understand comedy more, because when I first got in, I was just all over the place, you know, trying to do every show and do this and that, which is good, but I needed some kind of structure with it, and you came and brought that structure for me, and I appreciate that.
Well, I am glad I was able to have that type of input.
Along with getting onto my ass.
But that's only because I love you. But you have flourished, and like, one of the things that I'm not good at that I love about you is you are such an excellent marketer. You do so great in promotions and marketing. And I'm always telling you, like, bro, I'm finna steal your post. Like, I'll steal your post, and like, I'll change whatever words I need to change to like suit whatever for my thing. But I'm like, you're so good at it, and like, someone who doesn't know you wouldn't know that you have that capability and that business mindset, because you come across so goofy and crazy. I don't think people really get to know the inside of you, the business side of you, and that's what I want to explore more.
Right.
Tell me more about KG behind the scenes and the other things that you're doing that nobody knows that you're doing, that you're helping to do to build your own brand, the things that you're a part of and you're working with. Corey, you better be on your way here while you out on my live.
At the beginning of my career, I had trademarked the LLC, my name, and it wasn't because of I was thinking that I was going to do this, whatever, I was this big star or whatever. It's because that when I do something, I want to be able to have some motivation factor in it. So when I did that, it was more of my motivation factor that I got to work my way into this brand, and not so much as like the business aspect of it yet, but more just developing my material, getting stronger as a comedian, understanding the business aspect of comedy, all the comedy clubs and all of that aspect. So that was like some challenges in my life as well. And along with that, it comes like the personal challenges with like family and taking care of my mom. My mom has like some kind of lung disease that I've been helping out with for a couple of years or whatnot. And me being a former physical therapist and nutritionist, I think that that responsibility automatically fell on me to be able to help my mom out this situation that she in. So those challenges kind of play a part in my comedy career, and it kind of, I know most comedians, they'll have a personal issue and they'll let that personal issue stop them from being consistent in comedy, but I didn't allow that to do that to me. I just able to balance them all out, focus and continue on with my comedy journey, as well as helping my mom and my family on the side.
I love the fact that part of your motivation, you got your name branded, and then you say you wanted to work your way into your name.
Yes.
That's a very good way of looking at growing.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to mark my brand, and then I'm going to put my brand up here on the shelf,
Yes.
and then I'm going to do everything to earn this name for myself.
I was in love so many times. Got played.